I'm Sandra D. Robinson, and welcome to The Divorce Project. Are you or someone you know going through a divorce or a custody battle? Well, this show offers legal guidance and caring solutions to help you create a healthy family dynamic as you're going through divorce and post-divorce. Soon, you'll meet the host of The Divorce Project, family law attorney Barry Fischer. Each show, Barry chooses family specialists, and he takes parents and children, and they talk about divorce. They focus on the positive outcomes and the wonderful mindsets that can happen when we all work together.
We have a very honored guest today, Judge Robert Axel, retired judge from the Superior Court. He sat on the court for 36 years. He's now in mediation, or he's sometimes used as a master in a case to help facilitate things. And he's seen everything in family law, and he's presided over 300,000 cases. So we consider him an expert, and we'll be able to get his insights about the do's and don'ts. Thank you for being here today, Judge Axel.
My pleasure. This is a very important and dear to my heart area.
Judge Axel, why don't you give us a little background on what you've done in the area of children's problems when they're facing this divorce and custody situation?
Well, when I was on the bench, I would try to make it a point to say to the parents, the children are the victims of this situation. They didn't cause it, but we have to consider what's best for them in the total growing up situation, and to consider that when we make a decision or a choice. Unfortunately, parents don't follow that situation all the time, and I've seen too many cases where the children end up being the loser.
Important is communication when the parents have decided to have a divorce.
I think communication is extremely important. And to communication, I would add authenticity. And what I mean by that is being honest with your children about what's going on. They don't need too much in the way of all the details, but they do need to know what's going on. And a lot of times what happens when parents try to hide what's going on, it can make the child feel kind of crazy because they're seeing one thing. Kids are very perceptive. They're seeing one thing but being told something else. So I think communication and authenticity are very important.
One parent is bad-mouthing the other parent. What kind of tools can we give the child? What would you advise the child to do?
Okay, great question. Thanks, Barry. First, it's tricky depending on the psychology of the bad-mouthing parent. You can say to the child, say something like, "Daddy, please stop," or "Mommy, that hurts my feelings when you say that." If psychologically the parent is open and fairly together, they'll listen and empathize with the child. Some parents are going to be angry at the child. "Don't tell me what to do. I'm your parent."
The professional business loses money during the marriage. Does the community have any value in it then? Any interest in it?
If it loses money, then the answer is no, because if there is no appreciation during marriage, then there would be no community property interest. Basically, you look at the value as of the date of marriage and apply a reasonable rate of return as if you put it into an investment that was a safe investment. So you take the return plus the original value. So let's say theoretically you start out with a value of $1 million, and over a period of time, a reasonable return would have made it $1.8 million in total. And if the value would have to be then in excess of $1.8 million as of the date of trial to have any community property interest.
In your therapy, you really like to address stress, anxiety, fight or flight. Talk to me a little bit about that, because I know Barry very much, he addresses that all the time when the case is in the office.
Well, what happens is families and couples divorcing, they get sucked into the drama. And this is a drama. And once you identify with being in the drama as a victim, which both members of a divorcing couple, even if one member betrayed, both people feel like they're victims. When you get sucked into the drama, you act out as a perpetrator. So the goal of therapy is to get out of the drama and do what Barry mentioned, which is to remember we're a family, we're not at war. We have kids together. We might be angry, we might be scared and hurt, but we're not at war. And getting back to that, what is the best for the family? Because what happens, unfortunately, is this punitive action that people use the kids and money and other things to hurt each other. And of course, who gets hurt the most are the children.
Family law attorneys have experience and they understand how this process works. The first thing to understand is that the California legislature wants children to have continuous and frequent contact with their parents. They also want both parents to be involved with the children. The California legislature has ruled that they would like all couples to share joint custody. So when you go into court, the judges are directed by the legislature to get you to agree to joint custody. And the exception to the rule is legal custody to one side. Now, what does this mean? Clients come in and say, I want full custody, he's a terrible dad, I want full custody. Well, the court doesn't see it that way. The court sees that each person is equally involved and responsible for the children. And unless they're really bad, violent, using drugs, alcoholics, the court is going to push you to a joint custody situation. So one of the things to be educated about is that if you're going into a divorce, if you go in with the state of mind that we're going to come out someplace in the middle, you'll remove the conflict from your divorce. And that is the key. Because if you come down the middle road, have an expectation that you're going to receive something in the middle, oh, you've just healed yourself. You've just brought yourself to a place of understanding and of consciousness where you can take advantage of the court system and your case can go so smooth.
We thank you for tuning in, and we invite you, our viewing audience, to participate in next week's conversation. On The Divorce Project, our goal is to help bring you the healthy outcome that your family deserves. So please email your questions to team@thedivorceproject.com or call us directly at the number on your screen.